Welcome to the live. We're having, well, it's pretty exciting because the April Spa for Your Soul is now officially opened. We opened it last night. So many of you have been saying, when is the next Spa for Your Soul? We didn't have a March one, but we have an April one, and it is open. It's a dynamite topic. It's about shame. And I want to have a really deep talk with you about that today because, excuse me, something in my throat. Why does this happen sometimes when you go live and it's like, I can't speak? Something trying to stop me speaking? Who knows? Maybe it's like a little narc force out there or something. Anyway, shame, it's massive, especially for those of us who have been narcissistically abused, because it is the hidden chains that keep you stuck. And we're going to talk today about how to break free from them. All right. And we're also going to check in so that you can see today where you might be still holding shame and how it's affecting your life. So, shame is something that we feel after being with narcissistic people because they absolutely grant us the feedback that there's something wrong, there's something defective with us. We feel like that. We can be very ashamed about lives we've lived with them, the destruction that's happened to our lives and others. And it is a destructive emotion. It keeps us separated from happiness, love, success, and all the good things that life has to offer. Guilt and shame are very different, and people can get them quite confused. Guilt is, I've done something wrong, whereas shame says, I am wrong, I am defective. Shame is really deep, it's insidious, it's crippling, and sadly, virtually all of us have suffered from it, especially after narcissistic abuse. The shame, whether it happened to you as a child or in your adult relationships or both, it becomes quite ingrained and it makes us feel unworthy, unlovable, and inherently flawed. But how do you still know if shame could be running your life? What are some key questions that I want to ask you? And just say yes in the chat if you relate to this. Do you still feel the need to prove your worth to others? Say yes if that's you, rather than being able to trust yourself as you are, exactly as yourself. Do you struggle to fully express yourself, fearing judgment or rejection if you do speak up? Do past mistakes and failures or experiences still define how you see yourself? Are you still hanging on to the shame of those? Do you avoid taking bold steps towards love, success, or your dreams because deep down you feel unworthy? And when you think about freedom, true, unapologetic freedom to be yourself, does it feel possible for you or not? So if any of these resonate, shame could absolutely still be operating in your life. Shame is more than just an emotion. It's actually a silent prison. It distorts how you see yourself. It limits what you believe is possible for your life. It whispers in your ear that you're broken, that you're unworthy and you're unlovable, even when your conscious mind tries to tell you otherwise. Who has those feelings? Do you know those feelings? I certainly used to have those feelings. But what if I was to tell you that shame was never actually yours to carry? That it was planted in you, it was passed down, it's been programmed. And it can even be, and it certainly is by narcissists, it's weaponized against you so that you can't fully step into your true power. I want to talk to you about the origins of shame and how it actually wasn't yours to begin with. Shame was handed to you as a human being on this planet before you could even think for yourself. From the time you were a child, you were told that you're unacceptable and that that was shameful. even if you had lovely parents, because a child's subconscious doesn't have a sense of humor and it can't discern. So if you were told, don't be too loud, your natural joy was shamed. If you were told you're too sensitive, your emotions were shamed. If you were told that's not how a good girl or a good boy behaves, your natural essence was shamed. You should be grateful and not ask for more. Your desires were shamed. Before you even had the chance to know who you really were, you were already being conditioned to believe that the essence of you and your expressions aren't good enough, that they're wrong. So you started hiding. And because who you thought you had to be, and you became who you thought you had to be to get along with others, not who you actually are. And that's when we disconnect from our true self and we start feeling shame. If you were narcissistically abused, I have to tell you, because it's the truth, shame became your core identity. If you've suffered narcissistic abuse, whether that was from a parent or a partner, a friend, or society itself, shame is the weapon that is actually used to keep you under control. Because you get blamed for their behavior. You were told that you're too much, too little, too this, too that. You're made to believe that love, happiness, and freedom isn't allowed for you. And this wasn't just random cruelty. As far as a narcissist goes, it's an intentional system of control. Why? Because a person who is drowning in their own shame will always self-destruct before they ever become powerful. I'm going to say that again. If you're drowning in shame, you will self-destruct before you will ever become powerful. And narcissists know that. If you're ashamed of your own voice, you won't speak your truth. If you feel unworthy of love, you'll stay in toxic relationships. If you believe that you're fundamentally flawed, you're never going to reach for the life that's waiting for you. And that's how narcissists, toxic people, and controlling systems keep you small. Shame isn't just emotional, it's the ultimate form of spiritual and psychological enslavement. Let me know if this resonates with you in the chat. Let me know. Let's have a look at the effects of unhealed shame. And this may hit you pretty deeply, but I just want you to open your body and accept this information, because I'm going to give you solutions as to how you can heal this. If you still carry shame, this is what it does to you, to your life, without you even realizing it. You apologize for existing. You walk through life asking for permission instead of just claiming organic, inherent space. You attract people who confirm your worst fears about yourself. You end up in relationships that reinforce the belief that you're not enough or that you're defective. You sabotage your own success. Deep down, you don't believe you deserve happiness, so you unconsciously ruin opportunities before they can take form and grow. You overgive, you overprove, you oversacrifice, hoping to earn love, but it never comes back, and you just end up drained and empty. You keep waiting for permission to finally be free, but that permission never comes, because you were the one meant to grant it to yourself all along. This is why shame has to be healed at its core. You can't simply think your way out of it. You can't just decide to believe in yourself one day. You have to shift out the trauma that put it there in the first place. And that's exactly what this upcoming spa for your soul, freedom from shame, is all about. And that's what we're going to be working through in April. And this isn't just about intellectual healing, it's about deep, energetic, subconscious, and cellular releases. And the link to that spa for your soul is above in the description. And you can be in it for as little as $7. It's a 3-hour, 3 quantum healing shift event. Profound. Let's talk about the biggest lie about shame that's actually been holding you hostage. And I just want you to breathe and wait for this, because it's really big. The biggest lie about shame that's been holding you hostage is shame isn't real. It was given to you by people who were too afraid to own their own darkness. When somebody doesn't want to face their own pain, their own mistakes, their own flaws, their own shadows, they pass it on to you instead. They made you believe that you were the problem, when in reality, they were simply refusing to take responsibility for their own brokenness. The shame is not yours. It was never yours. And by shifting out the trauma from your inner being, which is what quantum freedom healing does, which is what we're going to do in this soul spa, you can hand it back. You get to give it back. You are not the mistakes of your past. You are not the wounds inflicted upon you. You are not the person they told you to be. You are something so much bigger, so much brighter, and so much freer than that. And it's time to remember. And how do we remember? We come back together. We let go of the trauma inside us that split us off from our true self. And then we come back together to remember who we are, which is organically under that trauma waiting to reemerge. So what's waiting for you on the other side of releasing the trauma of shame? And I speak from personal experience, as well as the experience of my clients and students who have let go of their shame. Deep, unshakable confidence without needing external validation. And that's what being sovereign and free and quantum is all about. You're free, finally, to be a creator as yourself, attracting and manifesting more of who you are being. So this means freedom from toxic cycles, toxic people, and thank goodness, toxic self-talk. Can you imagine what it feels like to live without shame? How differently you're going to talk to yourself? The ability to walk through life and the world unburdened, unapologetic, and untamed. Untamed. And I don't mean being hedonistic or wild or loose. I mean you can't be programmed and controlled anymore. That's true freedom. That's sovereignty. So what we've got coming up in Spa for Your Soul, which is especially for people who've been narcissistically abused, and those of you who know and sense there's more to life than what you've been told. This isn't just a workshop. It's an invitation into your true self. It's a chance to step beyond the false version of you that shame created and into the powerful, limitless, free version of you that's been waiting all along. And I hope you feel inspired about this because, as Cami is saying in the chat, this is a huge one. It's really, really, really big. And it's such a crucial step in healing from narcissistic abuse. And it's a crucial step in setting ourselves free. So, if this is resonating with you, and maybe you've been waiting for a sign, maybe you've been thinking there's something that I just can't put my finger on that I know is holding me back. Maybe it's shame. And shame doesn't go away on its own. It's like housework. We can't leave it and it gets done. You could spend years trying to fix yourself, but the truth is, we're actually not broken. We just have layers of trauma that has not allowed us to be free. And in relation to shame, you just need to release what was never yours to begin with. So this is a profound, life-changing shift. And maybe this is your moment. And if that's the case, definitely go to the link in the description and sign up so that you know that you've got a space in this workshop that is coming in early April. But we get lots of places taken, and make sure you've got your place, because I'm super excited about this workshop. Shame has been a massive trip for me, and I love the relief and the power and the release from it. It's everything, and I can't wait to share it with you. So I'd love to hear your comments. Also, to please share this Facebook Live, share the recording. Just share it, get it out there with people you know who really need to hear this shame conversation and who deserve freedom from shame, and share it in your communities. And I can't wait to have some deeper conversations with you soon. Thank you for being with me today, and I'll get to your comments and your questions after the live. All right. I love you guys. Lots of love. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Bye-bye.